Welcome to another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast, where if the shoe fits, you wear it.
And if the truth hurts, you bear it.
I am Justin Gruber.
And I am Jesse Gruber.
And today we hope you will seize the faith. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 207 of the Carpe Fide podcast. That sounds like a really big number when I say it out loud.
It is one larger than the last one we did.
Yeah, it is.
Every week, except last week, we just keep getting bigger and bigger. We don't really get bigger and bigger.
I'm definitely shrinking. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. The weight of the world presses down.
Oh my word.
It's crushing me. Well, everybody, we had an election in New Jersey. I think we did. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
one can't be sure anymore nowadays.
Yeah,
we were told we had an election.
There were like 500,000 more votes. Was it 500,000? I think it was like 500,000 more votes in this New Jersey election than in 2021. Which some people say are suspicious, but I just think the Democrats were motivated to get out. I think they were terrified that Jack Ciattarelli was polling anywhere close to Mickey Sherrill.
Yeah, all the single ladies.
Yep.
All the single ladies.
And on this episode, repealing the 19th Amendment.
And now we will put our hands up. Don't shoot.
Hands up, don't shoot. But at least she's not a Muslim that we know of.
She's a Democrat, but I guess she's not technically a socialist. I feel like she really liked making money on the stock market. It's probably not socialist.
She sure did. She sure did.
Look, everybody, you don't care. You don't always care about what's happening super locally because you guys are from everywhere. But let me just tell you, New Jersey is a sad place. It's a sad, sad place. But we will shine lights. Lights will be shined. The glory of God goes forward. And I woke up and turns out God is still sovereign and Christ still rules and reigns. And I went to work like I do every other day, as if it was just another day to do what God has called me to do. Yeah, and that's the way it works.
It's almost like our mission didn't change one bit, actually.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. And our mission didn't change because our God didn't change. And, yeah.
True.
Yeah. That's why, Trump, Biden, I still woke up and did the same thing,
Yep.
So. And
boy, am I glad you weren't flying a plane, because did you see that video? That was nuts. The UPS plane?
Yeah, it was, there's a scene, there's like a Family Guy scene where like a truck of something crashes into a building of something that crashes into a storage facility of something. It's like, it was pretty much what happened with the UPS plane, in case you all missed that news. Basically, a plane was heading to Hawaii from Kentucky, filled with fuel, filled with packages, long flight, and had a malfunction, pretty much at takeoff, and crashed into a facility that made some sort of automotive product or parts, and then after that crashed into a oil refinery, not a refinery, where they process old oil. It was like a situation where it was like, wow, this is real. This was bad, and then it went badder. Now it's way more badder. That's pretty much how that went.
Yeah, it was a domino effect of terrible things happening to that. That was awful.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And it's kind of amazing that it's rare. That's what I was kind of thinking, how rare it is, considering how many, tens of thousands of giant metal tubes are above me every day, just flying people back and forth across the face of the earth. It's kind of crazy.
That's true. That is true.
And yet it was also a tragedy. There was at least 9. I didn't see a more recent count.
Yeah, 9 was the last I heard.
Since this morning. That's when I heard it, yeah. 9 people have passed away from that, which is super sad. Well, that's Yep, and then you know what? When God is king, that's a far more important thing to deal with and understand. But culturally, it's important to understand the elections that happened this week. You want to go like I don't know how. There's no good order. There's a lot of crazy in all of them. Um, you had some elections. I guess there's some elections out in Pennsylvania, not as big of a deal, um, necessarily with its implications of what it meant for maybe either major party, and the other elections were a little more crazy. There was, oof, the big one in Virginia was kind of crazy. You had Winsome Sears versus some other chick, and basically the Democrat won. Now it's not crazy, but the big story in Virginia was that the attorney general,
Yeah. Attorney General J. Jones.
J. Gibber Schmidt.
J. Jonah Jameson?
Smitty Warberman Jensen. He had, been some tweets had not tweets, some texts had surfaced that he actually thought his opponent should die. His opponent's children should die in his wife's arms. That his wife should never have not going on a low carb diet, just like not have breeded, not have had kids, and yet somehow he still got elected. So like that surfaced. He's cool. Like once his political opponent to die, now he's in charge of the law. It's very confusing how that works.
Guys, that's just crazy. Both sides need to tone down the rhetoric. That's really the takeaway from that.
Oh man, I mean, sure, but like, I'm all about. I'm still over here watching Crusade videos, bro. I don't know.
My Instagram feed's kind of monopolized by those two. Uh-oh.
My God.
My Christianity.
My Christianity. Sorry. Yeah, we've all seen it. Come on now. We've all seen it.
If you haven't seen it, like...
Shame on you. What's wrong with you?
What do you look at? Russell Moore? Like, come on. You're too busy.
Do you get that?
Third way in your Instagram feed, yeah.
I do apologize. We're off topic. We're talking about elections, but do you get the British he's Asian of some kind, but the British Asian guy that rails against Muslims, do you get him a lot in your feeds?
British Asian guy that rails against Muslims.
Yeah, he's from Britain. Doesn't really have a British accent. He has more of a general English accent. It's not really like...
I don't think so.
But he rails against Muslims. You don't get him?
No.
Yeah. I'll send you some, and they can pop up in your feed. Anyway, the Virginia one is crazy. That we would elect somebody that literally believed that it would be okay for his opponent to be killed, his opponent's children to be killed. That's kind of crazy. But I think, I don't know, like if we look at them one by one, what does that say to you? Like what are your thoughts about that? Like Virginia voters went, and do you think they just didn't know? Did it not surface enough through the media? I feel like,
dude, if I know and I live in New Jersey, I mean, how could you not know?
Yeah.
How could you not know?
I mean, I didn't really take a deep look into the numbers. I mean, I would assume that those numbers were very similar to, New Jersey and New York. I mean, these are midterm elections. These aren't even midterm elections. These are midterm elections. They're weird ones.
Quaternary,
a year.
Quaternary elections.
Yeah, they're quarter. Yeah, that's what the midterm would be. It was a quarter.
Yeah,
it's quaternarian elections.
Quaternary gubernatorial.
Yeah, so I didn't really look into the breakdown demographically or turnout, regionally in Virginia. It just says a lot that there would be enough people to form a plurality around somebody who is totally cool killing his political opponent, thinks it is a net good to kill his political opponent. That is, I mean, I don't know that why. Like, if it was a Republican that said that, we should absolutely make sure he doesn't get elected. Like, like it's just
correct. The problem is on like stuff like that that's like really really bad. We generally police our own side. Like, generally, I mean, I'm not talking about like the normal scummy politician stuff where people take money from interested parties and stuff like that. All the politicians do that, but I mean, like if you're calling for the death of somebody, I don't think that would fly in the Republican Party. I just don't.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a conservative ideal. It goes against basic God-given rights,
basic human morals.
Ten Commandments. There's no human. Jesse, there are no human morals. There's only God's morals. I think we can all agree there are no human morals.
Basic morals that all humans recognize, which are the Imago Dei, law of God is written on the hearts of man.
Yes, God's laws. There's only God's laws. Anytime a human starts talking about their morality, I'm like, stop it, please stop it.
Fake
Come
news.
on, man. Fake news. Yeah, and that's probably the biggest. That's probably the biggest siren that goes off from the Virginia one is the concern that we, like. I hate the rhetoric, like, oh, there's going to be some sort of civil war. There's some sort of, like as if there's going to be like some sort of united public uprising, man against man, neighbor against neighbor. Like, I don't really think that's the case at all. I think that's just always hyperbolic, clickbaity type of talk. I think the reality that you need to be prepared for. The reality that you need to be prepared for a level of interaction that can turn hostile, though, is certainly something that we should be aware of. I think you have to be aware of it because we know that we're supposed to go forward and speak truth. That's the command. That's what we're called to do. And in doing that, we used to be at a time where maybe there was some level of civility, and I just don't think that exists anymore. I think it's something that we have to be very cognizant of as we walk through our daily lives.
Yeah, or like go to the grocery store. Did you happen to watch Steven Crowder's what does he do? Prove Me Wrong? What does he do? On the college campuses?
Oh, change my mind.
Change my mind. Did you see the one that he did after the Charter Clerk shooting? I assumed you had watched it.
I did not.
Anyway, you should watch that. It's really it's I don't really listen to Steven Crowder that often, but it was really really good. Really really good. But it's just alarming how many democratically identified individuals believe it's okay to commit political violence against other people. Like, that's how you get the Virginia Attorney General election, is because you have people in a party that believe it's okay to hurt other people. So why would that speech be concerning? Because they believe it too.
Right.
And it's like, it's to the point where, like, I don't think that there would be a civil war. There would be riots. We've seen riots, but not really from the right. We've only ever seen that from the left. And then I just don't think people believe in anything enough anymore. Like, there's no underlying value that's objective enough that could unite people, because truth is just loosey-goosey, and it's all feelings. So that's where I think that you see, like, individual acts of violence. That's why I think that you would see riots over certain things. But, I mean, in terms of, like, an organized actual civil war, I would agree with you. I don't think that that's a reality in the near future. But yeah, I do highly recommend Steven Crowder's thing. It was actually great. I listened to both parts of it. It was great.
I'll have to check it out. I have time to consume some medias. That's something I'll add to the list.
Yeah, I assumed you had already consumed it, and
Nope.
I'm sad because it's like it's like weeks old now.
Nope.
Sorry. I was way ahead of you on that one.
Yes, and well done. The sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The next, I guess we'll go in order of, I don't know. We'll save New York for last because that's probably the most stupid, insane thing ever. New Jersey for me feels like exactly what I said a year ago, almost a year ago to the day, when we analyzed the last national election when Trump won, and just the reality of seeing the turnout that happened in New Jersey. So we had Jack Ciattarelli going up against Mickey Sherrill. That is a girl. Sherrill is her last name. Mickey is her first name.
It's actually her middle name.
Whatever. It's dumb. So anyway, sorry. No offense to all those out there named Mickey.
Yeah, people
ladies, I apologize.
Well, she was called that ever since she was a child, and you know that we have to just keep our little kid names all the time. So
yes, well, since she kind of is a child, that'll work out well. The probably the crux of the issue here was not any of the issues. So I don't know. It just isn't. Midterm elections a year ago when we were analyzing Trump, I basically said that I believe we will see a swing during national elections where there is a larger representation of male voters towards conservatism, and in midterms, when we have in these smaller breakout and midterm elections, you have an outsized female vote, and particularly the ones that really turn the elections are your single females. Single females are a huge voting bloc that is overwhelmingly voting for liberal candidates, progressive candidates, at a pretty alarming rate. So in New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican, won men by 6%, which is great. Like that's just straight down the line. He won men by 6%, which is great in an election. That's a comfortable lead. Whereas Mickey Sherrill won women by 23%, which is an insane number. That's a huge number. That's winning women at a clip like more so than Kamala won from New Jersey. Like, so it's a really big number. And so when you have a larger turnout of women and then more of them are voting Democrat, particularly single women, and then the exit polls reflect the top two issues as the economy and healthcare, the scary part becomes when you talk about the economy, the women are more sympathetic to giving away my money to other people because that's nice, and also killing their babies, which is healthcare. And that's insane. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about married women with children who love God. So let's not get too upset about this. This is just what the numbers tell us. Because if you lived in New Jersey, you would know that in the past year we've had a magical increase in our energy cost, and New Jersey has pretty much been under Democratic control pretty much forever. Every once in a while we flip to a Republican governor. They still don't have really that much power because they never really get our state legislature.
I think the state legislature has been Democratic for like 20-something years, I think.
Yeah, it's like 20-something years, majority Democrat, and sometimes supermajority Democrat. So you have to understand that our economy is run by progressive ideologues. It's very much in that vein. And when you're like, oh, you had a little energy bump. No, we had like a 40% energy bump, and it was out of the blue. There was no reason. We're using the same amount of energy, and now it's 40% higher, which is just crazy. So you're talking bills that were, that are going up hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's kind of ironic.
Yeah. They shut my electric off last year. You knew that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they shut my electric off last year because our bills in the summer were so insane. We would pay extra on our bill like every month to try to catch up. And we had even made an extra payment in December. This was right around Christmas time. We even made an extra payment in December, and they shut it off right around Christmas time. And, as our listeners know, like I have Remy, who has special needs and requires a BiPAP and electricity at night to sleep. So I get the text at work saying, hey, they shut off our electric and they don't know when it's going to come back on. And I'm like, where does this person live? Because I will, I will go there.
And the Crusades are back.
Well, it's crazy because there's even laws. Like, they're not actually allowed to shut your... They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to shut your electric off
especially in winter.
Correct. There's like a blackout period for blackouts.
Yeah, because for all you global warming freaks that are worried about how it's going to kill everybody, cold kills way more people than heat does. So just FYI.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's what happened in our state, and I don't know. Did you hear anything today about the statewide emergency that she declared to fix that?
No, but technically her term doesn't start until next year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. It's not sworn in yet.
But she did say that on day one of her term, she's going to declare a state of emergency on energy crisis bills. But even Governor Murphy said, "I don't think you can actually do that."
Yes. Yeah, and here's the thing about it though. Regardless, it's creating a problem that you then magically solve as if you're the hero. Anyone that doesn't understand that they caused the problem is a fool, and we have had fools
for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
But I mean, the governor appoints people to our energy commission board, and so they are all Phil Murphy people, and they're the ones. It's just completely unelected, bureaucratic shills who are determining what happens with our energy all the time. And then we tried to build wind farms, and then the whales were dying, and then that got scrapped because Trump pulled the funding for that, which is perfectly fine because we don't need that. And then they kept shutting down our nuclear power plants and making it impossible to open more, and it's a mess. It's a mess here in New Jersey. Truly. But yeah, so now we're just gonna have more of the same. That was literally one of her only actual policy proposals that I actually heard, because every time she debated, she just talked about President Trump, which is crazy because last time I checked, he was not running for governor in New Jersey. I don't know if you heard if he was or not, but as far as I know, he's still the president of the United States. But that's all she talked about. And then that was like her only thing. And her only policy plan was to frickin' rule by executive order in a completely democratically controlled state. It's just like, oh my gosh. She totally tone deaf. She doesn't speak well either. She doesn't speak well. She doesn't debate well. It is literally like listening to Kamala Harris, but without the cackle. And, for that I'm grateful in a way, but it's still bad.
It is bad. The problem with New Jersey, it's like we're only sad about this because we thought we had hope. Maybe Jack could have won. It turns out that was just not. It wasn't super much a reality. So
yeah.
I think the reality, we woke up to the same New Jersey that we've always had, overtaxed, run by the mafia, and it's what we know. Like, we're just comfortable. We have all the seasons here, which is nice. So we're gonna get some snow in a little while, I'm sure. Leaves are changing, taxes are going up, and don't put your kids in public education. So, like, spoiler, I'm hoping by next week we have some information on what's happening currently in New Jersey, which is the New Jersey Education Association's Teachers Convention, which happens yearly. And I've heard some of the breakout session topics are super spicy. We have a spy on the inside that's going to hopefully be getting us some information about what they talked about. So hopefully in an upcoming podcast, we'll be able to talk about that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's the same New Jersey.
Nothing changed.
Honestly, I think the church really need to focus on preaching to single women. I think it'd be really important to have them repent and turn to God, and maybe make some wise, sane decisions.
Feminism is a cancer. It really is.
Boy,
it doesn't help anybody. It just hurts people. It's stupid. It's evil. I mean, like, literally, if you just removed single women from voting, like, everywhere would be conservative. It's like just everywhere. And that's like a crazy reality to think about. But that day is not today, and yeah, it's pretty bad. She wants to have no opt out for parents in school districts on LGBTQ curriculum. So that's cool. That's probably not even going to happen because I'm pretty sure that's a constitutional thing that she literally cannot do that. Parents have constitutional authority over their children, which is, great, but also sounds really silly to say because it's just so commonsensical. But yeah, I don't even think that's going to get passed. Anything, really.
Anything.
So.
Stop sign?
But the fact that she wanted to do that is crazy.
Yeah, well, it's progressive, and we are seeing this general theme that in these particular elections, a lot of people had some pretty progressive ideas, but not even close to the ideas of one Zohan Mumdudu. Sorry. Zoran Mamdani. Zorian Moon. What?
This is turning more and more racist.
I thought he was American. I didn't even know he's not American.
No. Well, he's not American born.
Now who's racist?
Well, he's not American born.
He's American though, right?
Yeah, he's American, but he's not American born.
American born. What a dumb term.
Also doesn't know the difference between like a cousin and an aunt or whatever that was. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, all right, so let's just like straight up. Zoran Mamdani is a Democratic socialist that has been elected the mayor of New York City.
Handily, by the way.
Yes, handily, which is very ironic because he is also Muslim. And that's not the ironic part. But the ironic part is that New York is traditionally a relatively Jewish city. Got a lot of Jews living in New York. So, very interesting. It's just so funny, like how that happened. Anyway, yeah, he's actually kind of like low key radical socialist. Like he's not really so much democratic socialist. He's like, nah, let's just go ahead and really take all the means of production back to the government, and we'll decide what you can think and buy and say. And
did you see that he put out a fundraising video?
No, he's right now, like currently.
Yesterday, literally the day after the election, he put out a fundraising video saying that we need to fund these agendas and to donate now with a huge donate button on a donate page. And it's real because I went.
He wants people to fund his city's policies.
Yes,
like from all over the country.
Anybody can give.
Oh my gosh, that's ingenious. I mean, the left
something.
believes. The left literally believes. Can I find it? Oh, can I find it? I think I told you about it one time. One of my friends had it's I will never find it because this person posts a lot of silly things, reposts a lot of silly things. I'll never find it, but
no, I'm sad because I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's my fault. I yeah. Anyway, they think the government's charity. Like the government, they think what the government does is gives. I don't really know. It's not like giving to your church. It's not like giving to the Red Cross. It's not like giving to Samaritan's Purse. It's not. The government isn't a charity. It can't be. Because a charity is something that you give to voluntarily, and the government takes things under threat of force. Like, another government program doesn't solve problems. Another government program is another place for other people to take your money and use it how they decide they want to.
Yep.
It's like the long and short of the entire process. Ugh, it's so frustrating.
But he just made it a charity because now anyone can give.
That's so crazy. I
bet the millionaires and billionaires are lining up to give.
That is, like, I'm genuinely, like, that's genuinely interesting to me.
Yeah.
But, like, sure, right?
I mean, he's trying. He's trying.
Boy, he's trying.
I just wonder how long it's going to take for everything to just kind of collapse up there. What time frame would you put on it? How long do you think they got?
Wait, say again?
I said I was just wondering how long it's going to take for, like, the city to just fall apart. Like, how long do you think?
Oh, no, not long. No, not long.
Not with his agenda.
No, you could not have. I mean, it'll be great. It'll be great when they have the first government-run grocery store, closes. It'll be great. But it's going to happen because they don't work really well. They don't work so good. They don't have things, So anyway,
it's like you go to a supermarket and there's a kosher section. There's just going to be like a Sharia section.
Like, I don't know. I don't like. Have we confirmed that he is like Muslim? Like, he's just like slow rolling it because they're allowed to lie about what they want as long as it furthers the caliphate?
No, he's specifically said that he's very Muslim.
He's very Muslim. So like, I guess
he said that he got taken aside after 9/11. Didn't you hear that story? By his teacher.
What did his teacher say?
He said that I just wanted you to know that you're probably going to be bullied and that, I'm a safe person for you to talk to because you guys are Muslim.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, because Muslims were the victim of 9/11. Don't you remember?
Yes, I do remember that. That was 9/11. That's when some people did something.
Is
that right?
Some people did some things, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly the era we're talking about.
I believe how it was said in its original tongue was, some people did something.
Something.
Some people did something. Stop it.
She's so bad too.
Stop it. Yeah, no, like, yeah, you want to keep going on how bad this is? Here's like what's so crazy to me. A government run on Christian principles ensures the freedom of all. A government run on Islamic principles crushes freedom for everyone except Muslims.
Sure. It's conversion by force. It's death to the infidel.
It's when Christians are in power, you'll see a mosque. When Muslims are in power, you'll see churches burn. And I don't I don't understand why this is confusing. I don't understand. We live in a Christian nation. The only reason this nation still exists is because of the dregs of Christianity built and knit into its fundamental founding. Um, and this is why you see so much freedom for so many people with absolute insane ideas. Which, by the way, I think there are some very serious public policies that need to go into place because some of this stuff is just despicably evil. But regardless, like head on over to like I don't know Turkey. How's that go over there? Like, why don't you go check out how everything's going in Jordan? Like, why don't you go over to Egypt? Like, there's these places don't like, and I didn't even pick on the big ones, guys. I'm just like, just go over to those ones. Just check out those ones for a little bit. See what that culture looks like, how that feels for you. It's his madness. It's madness.
Dude, do you remember, oh man. I know I saw it, but I forget from who. There was this girl, this African American woman that went to one of these Islamist countries and wanted her, like, she started demanding stuff. Like, she wanted food stamps, she wanted all this stuff. And, like, she was literally a spectacle. Like, she was on their news. They were just making fun of her. They're like, who is this person that thinks that she can get all this stuff? And then she's like, nope, I want to leave. I want to go back to America. She's like, and you guys have to pay my way back. And they're like, we're not doing that. Like, why do you... It was like, what? Like, it was so funny. I mean, I thought it was funny. I was afraid for her. I was afraid for her safety due to her very terrible intellectual ability to comprehend. Like, how did she even get there? It had to have been a GoFundMe. It was wild. I wonder if I can find that video. If I can, I'll definitely send it to you because it was hilarious. Hilarious. But yeah, people don't understand. People don't understand. People don't realize that elections have consequences. But there was something else I was going to talk to you about. I totally forget what it was. Well, it's gone. If it comes back, I'll happily say it.
You're gonna get there. If there's gonna be some like national maybe I want to say like digesting of what's happened. New York's going to like Kurt Russell's gonna have to like break out of New York again. So like, the Escape from New York is gonna become a real movie again. New York is going to suffer. We're in a realm now where we can have some microcosms of what elections do in a very rapid and short order in places like Virginia, New York, and New Jersey before we even get to the midterms, which is actually really cool because it can actually, I think, help people understand the consequences of elections and kind of the ideas that are behind progressivism. I definitely think one of the worst things that's happened for the Democrats is I've read some things that have me thinking they actually believe this is the right way to go, as if the great Zohan winning in New York actually underlies that the undercurrent of that win is that democratic socialism is in some way popular or in some way gaining ground. I really don't think it is. New York City is not a bedrock for any sort of national view. It's just not. New York City mayors don't often have the national spotlight or can carry a national ticket because people kind of understand that people from New York, they're good for New York. Good for you. But they're not actually indicative of an actual ethos across the board. But I don't know that honestly, like I really am concerned because I feel like every time, particularly because we're a two-party system, which by the way, I actually am okay with a two-party system. the problem being that there's always going to be a Democrat on the ticket, and I'm just really concerned that they really are really ignorantly foolish, which is the nice way of saying I think that they're really stupid. Um, and I'm concerned that they actually do think that this is the right way to go. We should press harder into insanity. We can be more progressive. We can be uber progressive. You could say we could be mega progressive. And I'm concerned that sort of shift means that on dumb luck or with the right voting machines, we could have some sort of insanity go on where somebody actually won. But I don't actually believe that that's the case. Like that's not the ethos that's present. But they're not getting it. I'm seeing a lot of comments that have been very conciliatory, congratulatory of people like, I don't know, an attorney general that thinks he can murder his political opponent, and a democratic socialist that wants to defund the police and replace them with people that have a clipboard and a pencil to just kind of figure out how you're feeling.
Yeah.
It was a really bad idea, by the way. People don't call the police until everything is broken. People call the police when ish is getting real. That's when they finally call the police. They don't call the police to be like, oh, hey, can you come help us fix our light switch? They call them when the house is burning down. And you want to throw a person who's trained. Am I back now?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It's okay.
I was really getting on a roll there.
You were. I was like, wait, what happened?
I don't even remember what I was saying. That's how frustrating I was just now.
We're talking about two-party system. You're talking about I don't know. I got nothing.
It's fine. Taking the wrong message away from these wins is not going to be good for Democratic candidates nationally. The idea of going more progressive is a horrible idea. They're pushing to that left wing is not something that is going to be very winning. And the problem with national tickets is they have down ballot effects. So in the national elections, you will see that down ballot current of people coming out and voting more conservatively, even as these midterms tend to swing more liberally. But that is going to be the ebbs and flows, I believe, of our nation until there's some sort of actual like median outcome that's going to occur where people actually fall into a more rhythmic voting pattern, and maybe voting becomes just much more close. I think that's what would be the actual outcome, is all voting just becomes significantly more close. But until that leveling out actually happens, you'll just see outsized conservative national elections and significantly more progressive local or midterm elections.
Right. Which did you see that? Did you see that Trump was calling to end the filibuster?
On what?
He wants the Congress to end the filibuster so that they can pass through the budget.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the thing that I was going to talk about with you earlier, but that I forgot, but then I remembered. I think it's just a bad call.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's actually something that you should use as a threat.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean that'll I can't see that biting us in the butt.
I think it's a horrible idea.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that Congress thinks so too. I think that they think it's a horrible idea. I mean, we haven't ended the filibuster yet when we could have in the past. But yes, it is a bad idea. I mean, I don't know if the. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if the shutdown's affecting his polling at all yet. Because I know for a while it wasn't. He was even going up at the polls a little bit. But the Democrats just keep lying, so. And high IQ voters are just few and far between anymore. On either side, truly. But yeah, I think that's a bad idea.
Yep, agreed. It's not a good idea. You shouldn't do that. That's why we haven't done it. We could have done it, and we didn't do it because it's not a good idea to do that. This is all what you would call a cow's opinion. It's a moo point. I mean, we could have passed this several times, and the Democrats are not passing it. Just to be clear, I don't know if this is clear to everyone. A continuing resolution basically says, look, we've already agreed on this budget, this old budget, so let's just continue it for now for the next 30 days while we're still discussing these finer points of this current budget we need to pass. And, maybe shaving off some here and adding some here. And you say, yeah, okay. I mean, like, I voted for that budget once. I mean, we can just continue it for the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? That's what a continuing resolution is, in case this was confusing to anyone. It's just saying we're just going to keep doing what we already all agreed on passing previously, when we passed the budget last year, and we'll just continue that level of funding for everything right now while we hammer out the finer points and details on this new budget we need to pass. So when you don't vote for that, what you're saying is, I'm not going to vote for that because I don't like what you're going to put into the new bill.
But that's the whole point of the continuing resolution, is to talk about what those things are.
Correct. Plus, you're also saying, I should never have voted for this in the first place. I was already wrong. Right. Because you already passed this budget. You already passed this budget together. And and to be clear, it is the Democratic-controlled Senate that is doing this. I guess the only other election we didn't talk about that was kind of big was the Prop 50 that passed in California for gerrymandering.
Yeah. Well, Mickey Sherrill's pushing for gerrymandering in New Jersey also, by the way.
Good luck. Good luck. How in the world do you think you're going to be able to gerrymander this to make more blue seats?
I have no idea.
But you would have to make it look worse than Illinois. It would be impossible. You'd have to have little trickle lines down to center points. Like, you'd have to have like a weird line that goes down and then like circles around Camden and comes back up to the north. Like, there'd be no way. There'd be no way.
You say that now.
It would be it. But again, it wouldn't. It doesn't change anything.
Well, I think that they don't want Jeff Andrew in Congress, so they're going to try to gerrymander. I don't know what they're doing.
Look, Jeff Andrew was a Democrat.
But he's not anymore.
Not anymore, and he might not lose his next election anyway. Might win his next election anyway.
Yeah, with the way things are going, holy cow.
Anyway, all this election talk, for me, really is to settle everybody down. Relax. I really believe, like, on a spiritual level, this is the exact type of warfare you'd expect. It's pushing where everything is mushing, right? You push where there's mush. Wherever it's soft, that's where you attack. This is not a winning strategy, and we already know who wins. So, like, this is not. I don't believe this is in any way long-term beneficial for progressive idealism. I believe this is the type of thing that can actually lead to a downturn for them, because when you actually are able to view their ideals and to see what they actually produce, it looks really bad. Just ask like Russians in like 1984. Just ask them how it was going. It's not great. Ask the Russians in, like, I don't know, 1950. Like, it's not good. Like, that's what communism looks like. Ask how China did under Mao. Like, these are bad ideas in practice. And when you try to warp the ideals of New York City to fit this, it's going to look pretty gross pretty fast. So just hold the line there. As a reminder, always go to Psalms 2 when you just need to like recenter yourself, and remember who sits on the throne, the king that you serve. Psalms 2 says, "Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, 'Let us break their chains and throw off their shackles.' The one enthroned in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. He rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, 'I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, 'You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery.' Therefore, you kings, be wise. Be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and celebrate his rule with trembling. Kiss his son, or he will be angry, and your way will lead you to destruction. For his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him."
Amen.
Yes, and amen. You got anything else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I would just add that I believe, of course, yes, God is sovereign. He is constantly working out his plan. I think this plan is judgment on our nation, on our states, on our cities. I mean, the Bible's fairly explicit that God sends women and foreigners to rule over people in acts of judgment and derision, and that is literally where we're at in New York City and New Jersey. We live in wicked places, and it does not change our mission at all. It doesn't make us evil people for living here. New Jerseyans need the gospel too. But, I do think that it's important to recognize that our churches need to get some stuff, get their ish together, so to speak, and start actually preaching and living out the gospel in a prophetic way towards, firstly their neighbors, but also to our civil governors, so that they can actually kiss the Son and live in righteousness and have that knowledge. So there's a lot of work to be done. A lot of work to be done here in New Jersey.
Yes, and amen. And we will do what God has given us to do. We shall put our hands to the plow. And like Paul says in Corinthians, we will do all to his glory. Yes and amen.
Amen.
This has been another episode of the Carpe Fide podcast, and I hope, dear Christian, that as you listen to it, you would indeed, this day, seize the faith.